from that space. And I think back to those moments, and it makes me feel uncomfortable for myself because perhaps there was something I should have said or could have said or should have done or been at least more vocal about, especially once I started working for my college newspaper. Why didn't I columnize some of those things and talk about some of those things? And I think there's a guilt to that, too, because I would imagine that a lot of us probably feel that same way.
Right. I wonder also, so Le Batard, part of the reason that we focus on some stories is because of the name associated with it, and if it was a different name and a lesser-known star or person, we wouldn't consider it to be as bad, even though it is exactly the same crime. And I wonder if what we see with the USA Gymnastics story, where it's gotten some coverage, but this is horrific.
Yeah.
It is. I think it's at the point of being hundreds of little girls.
Yeah.
And it doesn't get that much coverage in part because we don't really talk about gymnastics except for during the Olympics.
Yeah.
Or weather. We have these large conversations about the current topic, which right now is Joe Mixon or Frank Clark because he lashed out at a reporter. We've kind of already forgot about some of the other guys who have histories in it. And video shows who just a week ago were talking about how they feel about Joe Mixon, and now it's can't wait for the fight. One guy I'll always pay money for is Mayweather, even though literally you're putting money in his pockets directly.
Right.
Not that way with a league. You can at least argue, this is my team. I don't like that they have this player on it, but I'm going to root for my team. You are actively putting money in Mayweather's pocket when you buy a fight, and he's been convicted multiple times.
Yes. When humans see a commercial, and let's say they're like, give money to the needy in some country, and there's one kid there, our capacity for compassion and our willingness to give money is at its all-time high in that moment when we see one child. Our compassion and our willingness, and then if I showed you a panoramic of thousands of kids starving somewhere, my ability as a human, through studies, likelihood that I'm going to donate money has dropped almost to the point of none.
You identify that one kid with a specific person in your own life versus when there's too many of them. And that's the thing with Baylor that we know.
At first, Sarah, it was our Riles.
Right.
And we were like, this dude did this. That we all know who that is in the sports world. And it was like we could understand and connect to it in a negative way or a positive way. And now it's like faceless and nameless, and it's just this like survey-y story out there. So that is part of it.
Good as a victim. And maybe not even empathize is the wrong word, because I think we all empathize with what's happening over there, but feel like we should be talking about this and not shying away from these types of stories when they come out, because we now have a woman who's at the center of this being very verbal and talking about what she went through and what she's going through and what her fight is like.
I think that certainly changes it. We were talking before that